Marriage is there for children, nothing else. Their happiness comes first. Your happiness comes second. And for a long time, I also didn't understand it. But there's a way you study the word, and through the leading of the Holy Spirit, times you're just seated, you get these inspirations, you piece 1 plus 1. Mama White says precept by precept, line upon line, a little here, a little there, and wow! You realize you have this mysterious revelation that only the Holy Spirit could reveal to you. So when we preach like this, it's not because we have read more than you. Many times, it is God speaking. And we have the burden to share it. So this is the truth that transformed my thinking about marriage and family. You have heard me preach about it. It's a one lesson. Anywhere I go, I must speak about it. It can take different forms, but until you get it, you'll miss everything in marriage. This thing is small. Okay, fine. If you can't buy a piece of land, buy a big pulpit. Okay. Let's just get spacious pulpit. I know. And don't go ahead and get us a big pulpit. This I know is the one for funerals, is it? Yeah. Looks like that. I've seen it in funerals, and then slowly by slowly, it's finding its way into churches. Slowly by slowly. It's now finding its way into churches. And when we are doing Bible study, you have a lot of things spread everywhere. So this cannot be enough. I know next time we come, you don't need the church. You can grab the blessing, even you yourself. Just go. Blessings of the elders. Just bring the church a pulpit. Okay, we don't need to fundraise for a pulpit. Just tell the elders, give me the design, vote it, how much? You submit the money. Okay? If you can get a few friends, tell them that the pulpit costs 100,000, I give 95. Who's helping me give the other 5? So that the whole church owns it. At times there's danger in funding it all yourself. They'll say, pulpit ya ongwae, you know. Sasa itakuwa ya kanisa. Wanasema, nani anaenda kubeba hiyo pulpit ya ongwae? At times it's good even when you know you can fund the whole of it. Allow church members to chip in. Sasa haikui ya mtu mmoja, inakuwa ya kanisa. Kanisa nzima. I'm more interested in our children. And they are burden to me for one reason. Ellen White makes a sad statement. Because myself, I would get worried about our children when I hear people say that children are not sinners. All children will go to heaven. And I battled and asked myself, really? Is it true? Until I came across this quote in the book Child Guidance. And this shook me a little bit. And so I'll not give this presentation whole as it is. I just want to piece it with something from here. And we'll call it an evening. The book is Child Guidance, chapter 1. To the reader. Says, it is the privilege of parents take their children with them to the gates of the city of God, saying, as you get there, I have tried to instruct my children to love the Lord, to do his will, and to glorify him. It's a privilege that will move with my 2 children. Is it Rigiji that said he regrets he gave birth to 2 children? Or that was just a rumor? It's true, yeah. Rigiji says he would have given birth to, and he's advising people to give birth to not less than 7. And he says God will take care of them, which is true. Which is true. There are people that have chosen by choice not to have children. Mama White says a childless marriage by choice is because of selfishness. It's a selfish heart that would decide not to raise children. And some of us, our characters have been shaped by our what? Children. Actually, you see a child and you see yourself in that child. They humble you. Children humble you. You'll find a woman talk so badly about people's children out here until she gives birth. Si hata mjui kutunza watoto na vile wanakimbia kwa kanisa. Kwa nini watoto wenu wanakuangaje? Waacha atapata wake. Anakuja mpaka hapa pulpit. Children have a way of doing what? Of humbling, yes. Some White says, it's a privilege to take them to the gates of heaven and say, you as a parent, I have tried. I love that statement. People have always said there's no perfect parent, which is true, but the Lord expects us to do what? To try. I have tried my best. What is your best? Your best is, if you are asked to do it again, you will do exactly what you did. That is your best. So I have tried to instruct. And that is where the burden is. To do what? Instruct. Our Bible study begins there. What is your understanding of instructing? Don't start thinking Oxford Dictionary. Just keep it easy, okay? What is your understanding of to instruct? What goes into instruction? I'm going to Kisumu. 3 hours drive. So you will not keep me here for long. We are in Bible study. What does it mean to instruct? Yes, Elder Marvin. No, I'm used to Elder Marvin until the word elder is so heavy in my mouth. Because me, I know them as Sharon and Mavo. So Marvin is so long. So Elder Marvin, if you hear me say Mavo, it's just okay. Yes. To teach the ways that ought to be taught. What if I said, what does it mean to instruct the ways of the Lord? So in other words, Elder Marvin, you've just given us a synonym to instruction. What goes into instruction? Think. I also don't have an answer. I just want us to reason together as children of God. A little here, a little there, and we have an answer. Yes. To instruct, from Marvin to teach, from you to inform. Okay? So it means someone is destitute of knowledge. Completely. And so you begin to share. You begin to teach. Those that are in the universities, they are called instructors. They are called what? Lecturers. You want to do a unit of a course in the university. Let's say Mathematics 001. Do you do it in 1 second? Huh? Do you do it in 1 second? You daily have your what? Your instructor that comes to class every day, and there's a syllabus you ought to do what? To cover. It means it is systematic, is it? Yes. There's no guesswork that goes into it. It's systematic, and I know I'm moving from point 1 to point B, and I'm building slowly as we move higher and higher. So it means time must also go into what? Into it. By the time you finish 4 years in the university and you're given powers to do what? To read. Is a process mild, is it? Instructors one after the other have been coming and sharing with you knowledge, sharing with you information. Now we say you are mature enough, you can now go out and practice. I'm asking, when you say I have tried to instruct my children in that light, let me see a parent who has done that. Do you think what we do in the name of parenting is parenting? Let me see a parent who has a syllabus knowing that these are the things I want to take my children through. And this is how we want to move. So our children are growing by chance. Nataka tukubaliane tu. It's a mental syllabus. It's not written. Do we even have the mental syllabus? To know that I have a 3-year-old I want to instruct. By the time she is 6 years, this is what I want my child to have done what? Known. Is it there? Ama tusemezane tu kwa ukweli, kwa upole. Wacha nirudishe sauti chini kidogo. Tusemezane tu kwa upole. Iko kitu kama hiyo? Hakuna. The truth is we have left our children to chance. That is the truth. Because number one, even the time is not. That is the reality. Number one, even the time is not there. And on this I take it up with mothers. Because the father is away, and the father plays a supportive role in the instruction of children, in parenting. A mother is the one that is primarily the one in charge of raising a people for God. But why can't we do it? Sitaki tutoke hapa kama tumekosana. Nataka tusemezane ukweli na tujue vile tuna move forward. Si ndio? Why don't we do it? We are never there. And we have delegated that duty to the Sabbath school teacher. We have delegated that duty to the pastor. We have delegated that duty to the teacher in school. And we are comfortable. And we know our children are growing up. And I say children don't grow up. They are not plants. We think we are raising our children. just make a sad note? Parenting can never be delegated. It is an illegality to delegate parenting. You can delegate anything, but you can never delegate what? Parent. But you and I agree, we have delegated parenting first and foremost to the house help, is it? Who also does not do it, because when you come back home you want to make a lot of noise. How you pay her 4,000 and she has not cleaned the house, is it? Yeah. So even the house girl has no time to parent. The house girl only has time to make sure the baby is full and sleeps. It has even worsened to the point we have delegated homework from school to the what? Today we have qualifications for a domestic worker. We say at least Form 4. Why? Not because you want her to work thoroughly. You want when your children come from school, she can check whether there is homework and also take them through what? The home. So that when you come as a professional, you are sure they bathed, they ate, they have done homework, your house is clean. And even see the food, you say, mbona uliacha kitunguu ikaungua? Hey. And you sit doing what? Nothing. You're chasing money. You've gone to make money. I can assure you that child is not being raised. That child is just by chance growing up. I think by now you know where I'm heading. It will eat you up, but at least you will have a choice to make. I have tried to instruct my children to love the Lord, to do His will, and to glorify Him. If Christ came today, how many can comfortably say that statement? No, he's just adjusting the... And then the statement goes on to say, to such parents, the gate will be thrown open, and parents and children will enter in. But all cannot enter. That is the saddest bit for me. And that is what made me think twice. But all cannot enter, both parents and children. And I asked God, then which is the right age to beginning and starting is the same thing. Which is the right age to start instructing a child? If all children will not enter, then what is the right age? But before we get to the age issues, it says some are left outside with their children whose characters have not been transformed by submission to the will of God. A hand is raised and the words are spoken. You have neglected home duties. So why will our children miss heaven? Because it was their choice, or because it was us who neglected home duties? It would be sad when our children will miss eternity because we neglected home duties. To chase a sphere that we thought was higher, that only brought us far below what God intended for us. Far below. Hiyo kengele ni mapema sana. You have failed to do the work that would have fitted the soul for a home in heaven, you cannot enter. So number one, you neglected home duties. What kind of neglect? Failure to fit up a character for the home in where? In heaven. And so for me today, when we sit down and ask what is parenting, and people say, hey, you should be there for your children, provide good food, they should have a house, they should have clothes. Parenting has nothing to do with the schools our kids go to. And today I realize people take children to good schools for competition. They sit in the office, they have these discussions. I have my child in Makini, I have mine in Braiban, I have mine in Aga Khan. And then another colleague feels the pressure and comes back home and say, mbona watoto wetu wanasoma Wareng? Kuna ingine mbona wainaitwa Wareng? Did I see something like Wareng here? Mbona watoto wetu wanasoma Wareng? I saw something like Wareng. Wareng. Wareng ni kizungu, Wareng. And then there's pressure in the house, and I've seen women push husbands. Let me tell you, some of our husbands are not corrupt because they want it. They're trying to meet a standard a wife is insisting. A wife is trying to live the life of the neighbor. So you push this young man. And why do you think our young girls are getting married to people's husbands? It's because the person who's supposed to marry her has not yet made it in life. I mean, it's not his mistake. His time has not come. The sponsor has a life. Worked hard with that girl to be where they are. And today our girls want to start there. It's because there's a life social media has painted, and she feels she has to live that life. That life you cannot get it with some 30-year-old who doesn't think you can't. Not even 40. And because she has gone to school. She has gone to school. Because she has gone to school, I tell you, a woman without education is a time bomb. I always tell people, she's such a power that God had to garb in a weak vessel for you to handle it. That is the truth. She had to be given a weak body for you to handle it as a man. Otherwise, you cannot handle her. You can't. And that is why I keep on insisting on this age difference thing. You're not getting it. When he says, I will make him a helpmeet, the word in Hebrew is ezer. Ezer is the only word used of God that only he shares with a woman. The Bible says, he is my help and my salvation. The word in Hebrew is, he is my ezer. Only a woman shares that term with God. To mean, without God, there's nothing you can do. And he says it. He says, without me, you can do nothing. That is simply to say, we don't need to complicate the assessment. Without a woman, you cannot do anything. And that is the truth. You can't. You can't. You can't. I'm saying you cannot. It's such an inherent power that when you see a woman stick through an abusive marriage, and you hear some people say, kwani haezi toka, lazima akae hapo. What makes us stick through is not that we don't have a place to go. What makes us stick through is the inherent power in us to stay. We can handle it. the day she walks out on you, I can assure you, you are back to zero. When the Lord says that it is not good for man to be alone, it does not speak. It speaks of Adam's inadequacy, not Eve's insufficiency. Otherwise, Eve can roll without a man. And you've seen widows left at 23, 25. Today they're 60, still intact, serving the Lord. Kept your name for years. She can move. But for you, because you are inadequate without her, it means she is provided to complete you. She comes to make you adequate. It means when she leaves, you're back to what? Inadequacy. And that is why when your first wife leaves, the wife of your youth, for many women that I've watched, they will marry another one, it fails. They get another one, it fails. You will keep marrying. Huyo mama hakikisha haendi mahali. Omba tu kabisa, Mungu kama kuna kitu nakuomba hii maisha yangu, huyu mama asiwahi fanya nini? Sababu akikuacha, she rubbishes your life. No woman will occupy that space. Never. Even when you bring 20, the space will always feel there's something missing. So there's just a power in her. She completes your life and she makes things better. So for you to manage her, make sure you're even older than her with significant years. She's a thinker. Men conquer cities. But it takes a woman to conquer a man that conquered what? Cities. She's not a small thing. She's not. I wouldn't lie to you. A woman is a being you can't compare to a man. You cannot. That is the truth. I wouldn't lie to you. She can build you. She can take you down in 1 second. All the great men in the Bible, tell me what took them down. Wine, si ndio? Walilewa wakaanguka, si ndio? Wote kuanzia Adam. Who took Adam down? Eve. And Spirit of Prophecy says, after she had eaten the fruit, the devil used her as an agent for the fall of her husband. After Adam, which other great man do you know? Mumeruka mpaka Samson haraka. Abraham is there. Abraham was a good man. He started suffering when a woman suggested, let's get a child. Yeah. It's when a woman can corrupt your mind. And she brings it in such a way you don't see any problem in it. And she must have come and said, now Abraham, Unajua we are intelligent beings. God didn't create us. We are beings who can do what? Can think. God has given us some wisdom. He's now saying that you'll be the father of a great nation. Yani hata wewe huwezi reason, nimepita childbearing, niko menopause. Hata wewe hiyo science kidogo tumefanya. Si ukifika menopause mtu hawezi kufanya nini? Kosa. Mimi naona kitu Mungu anajaribu kusema ni tutumie nini? Tutumie akili. Sasa sitaki tutoe msichana nje. Wacha tuchukue huyu mwenye tunajua, si ndio? Huyu hapa ndani. And the guy was like, brilliant. Brilliant. spirit of prophecy, how Eve came to Adam. I wish you read it. Some of these things you just amtaki tu kusoma. Yani mpaka mnilipie fare nikuje niwasomee sopi hapa. I wish you read it. How she came to her husband. Mama White says, after he ate it and realized they had fallen, he regretted he ever left her to live by his side. He regretted permitting her to leave his side, because White says they had been told they were in less danger when they were together than they were when they were what? Apart. Less danger. Even today it is true. You are in I'm not saying that when you live with your husband nothing can happen. Kuna wahanyaji pro max. Uko na yeye style anahanya na mna uko na yeye kila siku. So people say it's not about the distance, it's about emotions. Let me tell you, both have dangers. Whether you stay with your wife or not, both have what? But the truth is, when you're with your wife, the danger is less. And I've seen men permit wives, and they come and tell you, kuna job ingine poa hapa itatusaidia kujenga ile nyumba tumekuwa tukitaka kujenga. Chwa! Anafanya kazi huko Kakuma. Anafanya na UN. Na wewe unaishi Kondele. Kondele ni wapi pale? Kisumu. Alafu anakuachia watoto. Sababu huwezi enda na watoto Kakuma. Kidogo tu hivi. She begins to interact with men that have traveled the world. Anaanza kushtuka, ile niko nayo kwa nyumba mbona haiongeagi hivi? I'm handling a marital case of a woman working far away from her husband. But the husband insisted, leave me the children. So the children are with the husband. The woman is actually moved with another man. And she has said, I'm not coming. Maenda. Kwanza anaenda bila mzigo ya kwani alikuja na watoto. Amenda. The man is lamenting. He doesn't know what to do. Tulifika je hapo? Hata tulikuwa tunaongea juu ya nini tukafika hapo? Woman. Abraham listened to Sarah. And it disturbed the peace of their home. And then their son, Isaac, came. There's no drama, so much drama in their lives. But gave birth to, I think that gene was kuna one gene dominant in recessive. It was recessive in him and became dominant in Jacob. And Jacob, just like his grandfather, now takes how many? His grandfather took one house girl. He took how many house girls? 2. Who took him down? A woman. It's a woman that came in the night, slept with him without knowing that he's actually not the one he thought. Like that thing I can't figure it out. How do you sleep with a woman a whole night and you don't even know who you're ati jua ikiwaka ndio unajua, hey. How kuna mtu ashafikiria hiyo kitu? Ama tufanye Bible study saa hii tujue ilikuwaje. How do you sleep with a woman unless they intoxicated him? They must have intoxicated him. You cannot sleep with a woman a whole night and not know who you're sleeping with. I'm telling you, women are dangerous. And I'm sure she must have colluded with the father and told the father, you know what, daddy, in our custom, a second child cannot, the firstborn must get married before the what? Because that is what Laban told him. In our place here, you cannot take a younger one before the elder one is taken. So he must have sat somewhere with the father and said, now look, daddy, my sister is going. And I'm not even dating in the first place. And then I came back to Fanya hivi. See, they said they were partying. Yeah, he organized a feast. Yes. So I'm sure it is in that feast they intoxicated this guy. Say, what we do now, let's intoxicate him, daddy. And the father agreed. And they intoxicated him. And the girl went. I don't know what they told huyu mwingine Rachel. I don't know what they told her. I have no idea. For her also just to sit around and she knows the time for sleeping has come and is not being called. I don't know. They must have kept her busy somewhere. Because I believe there was a procedure. Yeah, there was a procedure. Alijua ni siku yake. Si alijua ni siku yake? Alijua ni siku yake. Iko saa ikifika unaenda na bwana ya. Yaani hata penye amekaa angeshuka sema yaani kitu haifiki. Alafu pap jua imewaka unapata kama mama wengine wako hivyo. You know, Leah was a squint. Yeah, Leah was a squint. Yaani akafanya hivi nilikunywa pombe mingi nani ananiangalia hivi. Leah was a squint. A squint are these people you tell them look at me because you think they are looking up here. They tell but I'm looking at you, you know, because their eyes are like this. They akashtuka. I tell you, men, women are dangerous. If you don't have the character of Joseph, you can easily go down. It is women that slept with their father. Lot. They also intoxicated their father and slept with their father and gave birth to Ammon and what? Yes. This guy is a species so dangerous. Don't underestimate it. At times I wonder how you can beat a woman and she still wakes up and puts water for you in the bathroom and does for you your breakfast. Your breakfast is kunywe. Times I wonder how. And then came David. I wish you knew the description of David. David is known as a man of war. When his son Absalom tried to overthrow him, and someone gave him orders and said, you cannot attack your father like that. That guy has been to war since his childhood. We are talking about the man that took down a giant. Who? Goliath. The courage of that man. A giant is coming. He's not running away. Everyone is running away. Men who have been to battlefield for years. Him has never been to the battlefield. Men are Goliath akifanya hivi na kanyage chini. Watu wanatoka. And the ranks were getting slimmer and slimmer until this boy came and Goliath stood and he also moved forward. And Goliath said, wewe unanijua? Yeah, nakujua. But who took him down? Who took the man that took Goliath down? A woman. They're dangerous. You're safer when you're far older than her. But when your age range is just here, atakupeleka mbio hujawaiona. Controlling her becomes very what? Very difficult. Because number one, she has gone to school. Number two, she has her money. Number three, she's your age mate. Number four, she fears the Lord. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of... She has a wisdom, earthly and heaven. Coupled with the inherent power that she has as a woman. You can't handle that thing. You cannot. Solomon! Women. The strongest man, Samson. Who? Women. Uko na bahati sana unaweza mslap na anakuangalia. na bahati sana. Ngoja siku atakuchangamkia. Iko siku atakuchangamkia. Paka utajiuliza ni mama ama ni baba.